some of his work.
All that and more, but first, this.
Hi, I'm Marcia. I'm good friends of Daniel. He was always my love. I always cared about him for what he did for people. I'm selling his paper saying, "Blessed are the homeless," and he did bless the homeless with his goodness to all the homeless people, giving food, bringing bread, bringing some love to all the people that really needed it. Daniel was always a good man, and he's going to be missed.
Daniel Thompson is a poet that is famous in the neighborhood and has been officially named as a Poet Laureate of Cuyahoga County. He has worked to eradicate hunger his entire life, especially in his own. Joining him today is percussionist Sam Phillips. And now, Daniel Thompson.
How soft the sidewalk on a cold spring night. How dry the spring, not a fountain for our thirst, only day-old for our appetite. Our chums the seagulls come to share a few bagel crumbs. Oh, let us pray for the brutes who are dumb. Let us pray for the brutes who are dumb. Night is the future I drive in the middle of, under the weather of moonlight, under the charity of darkness. With Godspeed I drive through the scarred wilderness, the ruderal loneliness, as if I were heaven's messenger and had the divine right of way across avenues of bad news to these streets of greed. Night is the future for the fugitives of day who lay their heads down where their feet have trod and hold in rough hands this day-old daily bread in a prison without walls under stars they seldom see. Night is the future, a dream of a blind date our faith arranges between justice and love, under the weather of moonlight, under the charity of darkness. Those in power always want those in poverty to live on poetry. The best things in life are free, they're fond of saying. Of course, if you help yourself to what's second best, they lock you up. And if you tell them all you wanted was just a little bit more on your plate, they'll hit you with "Man shall not live by bread alone." They certainly don't. They've got the bread and the gravy, the meat and potatoes, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Navy. And what have we got? Our loneliness and our need to break bread. For that sound breaks the silence between us, and out of that broken silence tumbles everything, a cornucopia of words that feed the heart, night words that rise and fall with each breath, each shadow, words as light, whose wings brush against us, and we are never the same. Words that are famous with only 4 letters, like food, love, home, sing. Ohio, I'm following you down the road. I'm tailgating you. I'm so close I can read your license plate. It says you're the heart of it all. But it seems your heart has turned arctic cold with 6 months of darkness, 6 months of light. Who can make it through when a half year of days is one long, cold, black night? Who can survive to praise the light? All is gray now. The sky is filled with waves of gulls, the airways with violence. Into the flats we go, down to the river. Oh, throw your heart into its fire, Ohio. Let it melt. I'll be your tug and pull you to the sea. There are saints in the city moving through the streets, through sadness and shadow. No fiery chariot from the sky, only an ordinary beat-up station wagon, earthbound, moving toward the fires along the picket line at Greyhound, where the homeless joining hands with strikers keep warm, keep watch, keep it together, till out of the ordinary, not a miracle of doves bringing peace, but carte blanche comes love's daily bread, as light as a bird in the hand. These are the saints who use the pot that didn't melt to make the soup, to take to the heart of the city. There at Public Square in the shadow of the tower, amid the rats, the abatements, the greed, they weather the cold midnight air. Yes, there are saints in the city, moving through sadness and shadow, through the projects with crayons and food, looking, listening for beauty, for the art of the people, for the poetry of the soul, fired up, hungering in poverty, for the light of justice. How ironic, Ralph. In the plain dealer's headline, you're labeled a social worker. How often they, along with administrators, police, public officials, hold attitudes that epitomize an insensitivity toward the poor, that dehumanized spirit you sought to overcome. They also call you a friend to the poor. But if every day you eat with the poor, sleep with the poor, walk and talk, breathe with the poor, you are the poor, friendly or not. Come out of your coma, Ralph. Speak to us. We know if you could, your first words were forgive your enemies and those who beat you.